Terrar dum prosum. Latin for, you will have no free time. Can you believe it? You're finally graduating. You can relax now. Go ahead. Undo those top buttons. You've earned it. It's a bittersweet moment, isn't it? The feeling is split between a sense of accomplishment and of high school nostalgia. Out of all the co-ed, international, independent, 100-year-old boarding schools in St. Catharines, Ridley is definitely in the top 5. You see, for most of us, Ridley has been our home for 4 years, but a very eventful 4 years. We enter the school as children, we leave as adults. But then when we go off to university, for some reason we start to act like children again. You see, we start to take naps during the day, eat and drink whatever is lying around our room, and of course, act silly to impress people. But as much as it feels like the end, it's the beginning. Think of your life as a journey on an airplane. 4 years ago, you took off, saw things that changed you. You became cultured. Now here we are. We're landing now, and you'll have a 3-month layover before your takeoff to your next destination. It's the first year of our adult lives, ladies and gentlemen. It's when we start to explore. It's when we first dip our feet into the water. I imagine that the first time many of you came to Ridley, you were as green as grass. And of course, as teenagers, our first instinct is to want to be cool. I remember wanting so desperately to be cool, which I eventually accomplished. So I applied to get into the Cool House MNO. So while I was filling out my application, I wrote, "I love sports," and spelled sports wrong. No, I ended up in AB East. You see, we're the half of AB that actually talks to girls. They don't respond, but we still make the effort. How many of you remember the first moment when you finally engaged? That pivotal moment when you realized the opportunities ahead of you. Do you remember how easy it got from there? Do you remember asking yourself, how am I going to show Ridley who I am? How many of you remember feeling alone? I do. I remember sitting alone out on the bench outside AB House day after day like Forrest Gump. I remember seeing the older students throwing around a football and laughing. They were having so much fun, it looked like an Abercrombie ad. I thought to myself, Johnny, you are not gonna fit in here. I mean, come on, I was a skinny 15-year-old boy who still played with Lego, but soon enough, like most of you, I realized that I wasn't gonna meet friends sitting on that bench. I needed to engage with people. At the end of my grade 9 year, my advisor, Mr. Whitty, told me, "You haven't made your mark yet." During that summer, I thought about what he said and what it meant. How was I going to show Ridley who Gianni Bahadoorsingh was? Easy. I'll join the football team. Let's just say the time I spent on the field usually didn't have an opposing team, and those benches and I go way back. But I digress. Yet we've all done something that we thought would help us fit in. And this year, the prefects tried to make sure everyone felt welcomed, united, valued, and equal. So during our weekly exclusive club meetings, we would, I'm just kidding. Yet here we all are, sitting together as one. And this year marks the end. For the dramatics, this is the final curtain call. For the musicians, this is the last concerto. For the mathematicians, this is the year you can finally go outdoors. For the scientists, this is the year before 7 more years of excruciating work. And for the slackers, well, this is the year you finally get that break you deserve. And it's amazing what our graduating class has accomplished. You see, we are more than just students. We are athletes, we are scholars, we are community servers, we are artists, and we are teenagers. And we all bask in each other's accomplishments, whether it be a world-renowned VEX Robotics Award or Phys Ed Grade 11 Line Dancer of the Week Award. They all show true passion and merit. I'd like to quote the late poet, the notorious Big, who once proclaimed that the sky is the limit. Now, what that means is there are no boundaries when it comes to pursuing your dreams. I mean, if you're a hockey player, don't be afraid to try out for the musical. And if you're in the musical, don't be afraid to watch a hockey game. See, don't pigeonhole yourself, because if you do, you'll never know your true potential. Don't be afraid to try new things. One of the biggest mistakes we make is we procrastinate. Oh, I'll study next week, or I'll try out for that sport next year. There's a great quote I love about procrastination. It's great. I'll tell you later. It's great, though. It's great. See, look, you're all wonderful people. You've soared beyond anyone's expectations. And you need to thank your parents for that. So I'd like for all the graduates right now to acknowledge their parents with a round of applause. They were the ones who first friended you on Facebook. They were the ones who took the blame when you were late arriving to chapel. They were the ones who heard, "Can you pick me up?" more than "I love you." They were the ones who took 100 photos of you during your 5-second march by in cadets. And of course, they were the ones who told you you could be whatever you wanted to be, as long as it was either a doctor or a lawyer. All of you have worked hard during your time at Ridley, there's no doubt about it. But let's not forget who helped us along the way. I'd like for all the graduates right now to acknowledge their teachers with a round of applause. Do you remember when you were a kid and you thought your teachers lived at your school? Well, here that's the case. You see, just like us, they stretch beyond the classroom. They are our housemasters, our coaches, our mentors, and our friends. They were the ones who first deleted our friend request on Facebook. They were the ones who let us leave early on class for Wednesday lunch. And of course, they were the ones who watched us grow day after day. It's their praise, their concerns, their critiques, and their guidance that transformed us from naive children into learned adults. You really do change when you come to Ridley. And that's the beauty about high school. You see, it opens you up. But how will you all remember high school? Will it be one big blur of awkward teenage angst? Or will it be fragments? Snippets of the most important years of your young life? Personally, I think it's the second one. You see, as an aspiring filmmaker, I tend to see my life as scenes in an endless film strip, and I am the editor. At Ridley, we have so many different memories to choose from, whether it be our first kiss, our first goal, our first exam, our best friends, our best days, our worst days, or even the little things, like having every single person wish you happy birthday, grub days, assembly videos, Lord of the Dance, the list goes on. Yet the beauty of it all is that all these little pieces of high school form one giant and endless mosaic. So on days like today, when you're reflecting on the past, you can step back and admire the beauty of your life. Look, I'm a pretty square guy. Okay, the most fun I've had throughout high school was playing with special effects on photo booth. So that's why I'm looking forward to university. You see, after getting rejected from the Jedi Academy for young Padawans, I decided to go to Western. And wherever you all end up, promise me one thing: have fun. Even though you may be leaving Ridley, you'll never say goodbye. And don't worry, because most of you will be back here next year in September, standing around with your red cups and your half-grown beards, thinking you're so cool because you built your dorm furniture out of beer boxes. Look, no one said high school would be easy, and whoever did probably had a six-pack and played varsity football. And high school isn't like the way it's portrayed in movies, where everything comes to a close with a classic rock song fading into the background, okay? And it's funny, when you leave the school and go out into the world, you're not going to be a Ridley student anymore. You're going to be a person. You're going into a world where it doesn't matter what color blazer you wear, how many awards you've won, or what mistakes you've made. You have to let those things go. Because at the end of the day, it'll be about who you are. And that sense of who you are is something you can never let go of. And it's ironic, because as a graduate, things start coming back full circle. You feel just the way you felt when you first came to this school. Nervous, excited, hopeful. There's a lot of emotions rolling around in there. And if I could give you all one piece of advice on how to handle that emotion, it's this: don't. That emotion is what took you places you never thought you would go. That emotion is what made you run the race you never wanted to run, earn the mark you never thought you would, or make the friends you never thought you'd have. That emotion is what allowed you to make memories. That emotion, ladies and gentlemen, has allowed you to explore who you are. And guess what? You got a lot more exploring to do, so don't let it go.